Okay, since we talked about the tools of design with the elements of design, now we need to talk about the rules of design with the principles of design. The principles of design are harmony, scale, proportion, balance, rhythm, and emphasis. So, like I said, the principles are the rules of design. And as you can see in this picture, sometimes there are rules that just shouldn't be broken. There's a lot happening in this room. So let's talk about what some of these principles are and what they mean. The first one that we have is harmony. So harmony is a combination of variety and unity. So unity ties things together with common colors and textures and patterns, also common styles. But variety is where things are different. So whether it's textures, colors, patterns, and styles. So in order to make sure that your room is interesting without being a hot mess, you want to establish harmony. So you want things to be similar, but it's okay to have a little bit of variety because too much of the same thing is just going to be boring. The next one that we're going to talk about is scale. So scale is the overall largeness or smallness of a room or object. It's how we perceive or judge the size of something in relation to something familiar. So in interior design, we typically show the perception of size with scale figures of either people, cars, or other recognizable objects that are typically like a constant size. So it can be light or small, medium, heavy, or large. Okay, so scale is very closely related to proportion. Proportion is comparing the size of objects to other similar objects or parts of the object. You're comparing different parts of an object. So you can see that these two chairs are a good proportion to this larger couch. Okay, so you want to make sure that everything fits together nicely, and it's not that one piece of furniture is going to be way too big. So if you had a very large overstuffed couch, you wouldn't want that couch to be paired with very dainty chairs that don't look like they fit together well. This video is just a good visual of how the Parthenon is a good example of proportion within architecture. So it will show you like how things kind of go together and how they're very specific proportions from column to column, from the this portion right here to this portion here. So just give it a look and enjoy. Okay, it's very easy though to mix up proportion and scale. So proportion refers to how well the pieces in a room fit together in terms of do they look good together? And then scale refers to how well your pieces fit in the space. So this video right here is a really good example of how to differentiate between the two. So give that a look as well. Okay, balance is the next one that we're going to talk about. So balance is just equal weight on all parts of the room. So you can either have symmetrical balance where both sides are about the same. So if you think about kind of like the leveling of a scale, it would be two things of equal size on either side. So if you had a fireplace, for example, you would probably have the fireplace in the center, and then maybe you would have pieces of artwork that are the same size on either side of the fireplace. In asymmetrical, the sides are different, but they're still balanced. So basically, if you use the same fireplace example, you could have one larger picture on one side, like you see here, and then two smaller pieces of artwork that are about the same size when they're put together as the larger picture. And then we also have radial, which is circular, so that is set around a central point. So it's basically just balance within like a circular pattern. Rhythm is the next one. So it carries your eye along a path at a pace that's determined by the elements in the room. Okay, so you can achieve rhythm by repetition, transition, radiation, gradation, and opposition. So you can see that as you're looking at this restaurant picture, the the rhythm is what's taking your eye, across that entire row. This is an example of rhythm repetition. So this is a design tool that is repeated. So you can see that there are a lot of different design tools that are repeated here. So you have the exact same lighting fixture. These are the exact same lighting fixture. You have the same topiaries, the same like armchair table combination with a plant. And then you even have the same motif on the carpet going all the way down the hallway. These archways are also an example of rhythm repetition. Okay, we also have rhythm transition. So this leads the eye without interruption from one point to the other. So this could be a stenciled border, archways, stairways. So this rhythm transition leads your eye from one point all the way to like the end point. And then rhythm transition for the stairway leads your eyes from the bottom of the stairs to the top. We also have rhythm radiation, which moves your eye out from a central point. So it's usually circular themed, so it can be like these, spiral ramps and the Guggenheim that we have looked at before. The next one we have is rhythm gradation. Rhythm gradation is just a gradual change from one extreme to the other. So it could be small to large, like these steps in this spiral staircase, but it could also be light to dark or dark to light, like you see in this wall covering or wall treatment. So this would be kind of like when you look at your phone and you see how many bars of service you have. So if it, gradually goes up, from smaller to larger. And then we also have rhythm opposition. So this is when a shape or color directly opposes another thing or it creates contrast. So black and white create a really big contrast. So I just liked the look of the white ceiling, white curtains, very light furniture, and the really bold, dark feature wall. So the direct placement of elements to create abrupt change. So this could also be like a circular thing with a square thing. So like you see in this picture. So there's a very round decoration right here and then a very boxy square decoration right here as well. So that would be an example of rhythm opposition. Okay, and then the last one that we're going to talk about is emphasis. Emphasis is just the focal point of a room. So it's going to be the first thing that you see when you walk in. So you're trying to put emphasis on whatever it is. So you're drawing your eye towards that focal point. So you can see that the use of this wood wall behind the tub is going to be like what they're trying to emphasize, what they're trying to draw your eye to. So that's why they have the lighting fixtures on either side. There's a different wall here. And so, it just really automatically draws your eye there. The same thing that you have with this fireplace. So the whole room is kind of set up so that this is the focal point. The chairs are facing inward, but you have the bookshelves that kind of draw your eye towards that like balance right there. And then you obviously have the fireplace at the center. That is where we are going to stop for today. I hope you have enjoyed learning about the principles of design.